What's up, guys, and welcome to another edition of Marauders. First things first, smash that subscribe button, like, comment, and share the video. We're going to be diving into TRNX, Taronis Technologies, soon to be Taronis Fuels, and Taronis Technologies. So today, on Saturday, their price is at $1.89. They've had a pretty crazy week. Let's go to the 5-day. Pretty crazy week. A lot of ups and downs. Went up to like 272, and it's just stock been falling for quite a while, but I haven't given an update in a while, so I'm gonna dive directly into it and see what's going on. All right, so the most important thing, what everybody is, worrying about, and I know I'm looking at this date, got it marked on the calendar. So Taronis announces record date for spinoff. So their spinoff from when they finally filed the paperwork and what got approved was the record date is established for the 29th of November. So that's coming up pretty soon, and the expected date is it says the share distribution date is expected to be on or before December 5th. So everybody's going to get those shares before or around the 5th of December. So it's a pretty good thing. I know it's everybody's looking forward to. So, I think that's one reason why the stock price went up pretty high. But I think getting closer to that date, the stock's going to shoot up like tremendously when people really realize, okay, it's getting close to that time to get these shares, these dividend spin-off shares. So December 29th, mark your calendars for that because that's the date. And it's going to be a 5-to-1. So for every one share you have of Taronis Technology, you're going to get 5 shares of Taronis Fuels. So that's pretty good stuff. So diving into the news, Taronis reports $1.75 million in September sales. So it's a pretty good thing. So today reported 1.73 million in sales for the U.S. retail industrial gas and welding supply network. Sales increased 113% as compared to the same month in 2018. The company operates 22 retail locations across California, Texas, Louisiana, and Florida. So they have been working crazily uh, in the past, couple of months or so, expanding this company. Excuse me. And they've been marketing like crazy. So if you go look at some of my older videos, you can see the progress along the way. But they have been working tirelessly to promote this company, and a lot of different deals have come about from that. Like their water pilot company had a couple of deals, and the fuel side of it has definitely grown. So next, diving into some more news. This is the 21st of October. Their water pilot wins 5 installations with large Popeyes franchise, which is pretty good. It also shows that their water pilot side of the company is growing as well. So if you're looking at it from just getting the stock just to get the fuel side, the water pilot side is actually going to be semi-profitable as well too. I don't think it's going to be as big or as popular as the fuels is just from the numbers that I've been seeing, but it's going to be a pretty um, steady growth. I don't think it's going to grow as fast as the fuels price will, but you know having the water pilot side wouldn't be that bad either. Um, it says the client has indicated that the initial results from these 5 installs deliver expected savings in water utility expenses. They anticipate authorizing installing at all 115 locations. So 115 locations is, quite a bit. It's a lot of places to be at. But it just shows that, this technology works and it's very versatile. It's not just only good for like demolition purposes, but also for water purposes. So, very versatile product, hence why they're breaking into 2 different sections. So Taronis announced its first European technology demonstration. Um, this is good just for the fact that they're moving worldwide. So going to different countries. Expanding your company is always a good thing for growth. Getting the word out, just letting people know what you do and what you make. Um, and especially with a company like this that has, multiple applications, so not just for gas but also for water, it's also very appealing to other countries, and I see them growing with more exposure in different countries. Okay, so this one is Taronis Technologies compliant with NASDAQ listing criteria. It says by letter dated on November 8th, 2019, NASDAQ informed the company that it had evidence compliance with the minimum bid price requirement and otherwise satisfies all requirements for continued listing on the Nasdaq capital market. So if you've been following this stock as much as I've been following it, the problem that they had was they had to try to be Nasdaq compliant, so they had to be over $1 um, for a certain amount of time, and before that they had a reverse split. Um, and the counteract to that reverse split was to have the dividend shares. So that's the whole purpose of the dividend shares. Um, they had a reverse split so that they can get their share price up to be compliant with the $1 for a certain amount of time to be Nasdaq compliant. Then they filed, I think it's their Section 10 form, um, and that's when they set the terms for how long it was supposed to be and when the dividend date was going to be for the dividend shares. So this basically just says, they're compliant and they satisfy all requirements, which is a good thing. And then Taronis launches Turkish joint venue. So they had a deal with Turkey. Okay, so the purpose of the joint venture will be there for threefold. First, scroll down. First, this is a precondition to the commencement of an existing $165 million purchase order for 30 300K kilowatt Venturi plasma or gasification units. So the $165 million one is basically the deal that everybody was talking about. That was a pretty big deal. And, everybody's excited about it. And that's what's uh, basically, in my opinion, driving the the sales or the price. It's going to drive the price for the fuel stock when it comes out. The second, a new joint venture expected to significantly expand the scope of operation with the Republic of Turkey. The government of Turkey has asked the joint venture to consider a radical expansion of the scope of operations to support a comprehensive safety program in Turkey. So, in Turkey, they're trying to use this gas to help with safety. They're real big about that. They got a lot of construction going on, so uh, Taronis fuels will be the gas of choice in that process. It says, lastly, newly formed joint venture would partner with the various Turkish regulators to form compressed gas welding and metal cutting safety institute. So, they're basically using this as like their model gas of how they're going to be performing all of their work, which, for a government to basically say, "Hey, we're going to use this." That's a pretty big deal. So the whole country's going to be using it. And I think it's going to speak volumes for other places using it when a whole country or a large portion of the country adopts um, this form of technology, because it basically is a form of technology. It's a new form uh, or a new way of doing cutting. So Taronis completes a $3.5 million convertible preferred offering. So a leading renewable producer serving global industrial gas markets today announced that it has closed 3.5 million convertible preferred equity financing. It says transaction includes a $2.25 fixed conversion price. The investor is not permitted to convert any the preferred equity for the first 30 days posting closing. Any unconverted balance under this facility shall mature 12 months from closing. Okay, so the CEO, basically Scott Mahoney, says the purpose of this transaction is to provide intermittent working capital for Taronis in advance with short anticipated initial purchase order under the existing $165 million contract in Turkey. So they're basically trying to make sure they have money, to complete this um, task and to get this contract basically up and running. So that makes sense to me, um, just from a high level. So it seems like they're moving in the right direction. They're definitely spreading with their gas company. I think it was in a lot. I think they had some in California as well. Um, but it's that company itself is going to be pretty good and pretty profitable. But they also have the water side. So I think in the future, um, if you want to get that stock, you want to get that 5 share dividend, make sure you get it by the 29th of November, which is pretty quick. Um, but I think overall it's a pretty well-rounded company. Man, it's tongue twister. Well-rounded company. And then you know, um, you're gonna basically see both sides grow. From a lot of the calls that I've listened on, Scott Mahoney seems like he wants both sides of the company to do good, the water side as well as the fuel side. So it doesn't seem one sided to me, like it's gonna be, oh, they had the fuel side and the water side is just thrown by the wayside. I think both sides will equally have their strengths and are both growing at the same time. It just may seem that with the $165 million contract, that the fuels obviously is going to be the one growing faster. But I think if if you're looking for longevity, that having both wouldn't hurt. Um, anyway, that's just my synopsis on it. Uh, Make sure you guys hit the subscribe button, like, share, comment. It's been another episode of Market